And we're live. Alrighty. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to Final Rites. Pardon, Nerdsmith's premier Southern Gothic 5e extravaganza featuring an all-tiefling cast. Well, and the occasional guest. As you can see, we're having a lovely, lovely time of it today, as indeed I am joined by two of our illustrious main crew. Unfortunately, due to some conflicts, we will be once again missing Heavenly and Mustang, but we will get them back into the fold as soon as possible. Before we get into it, however, I suppose it would be prudent to introduce myself. My name is Jason Catrone. I am the DM of The Final Rites and a couple of other Nerdsmith productions, a little shindig known as Shattered Forge as well, but we'll get to that at the end. You can find me at JustJasonPlease on Twitter, and as well, you can find me with this lovely, lovely crew, one of whom you cannot see, and so she will be introducing herself first. Rachel! Hi!
Hello. Hi everyone. Lovely to be here. Sorry about the lack of camera. Anyone who was on my stream earlier would probably also have gathered that I am sans camera right now. Anyway.
But
yes.
who are you? Who you playing? And how you been? How you doing?
I'm doing alright, doing pretty good. I play Mercy, the tiefling Way of the Drunken Master monk, and looking forward to seeing what shenanigans we get into today.
Same here. As we are down 2 players, we will be having a little bit of a snapshot to a previous point in our intrepid group's past. That will be a marvelous time, I assure you. But we get into that even. We must have the next member of today's proceedings introduce themselves. So if it pleases the court, Angela! Hi! How are you doing? It's so wonderful to see you.
It's wonderful to see you. I'm doing quite well, thank you.
Right, so, who are you? Where can we find you? Who you playing?
I am Angela. You can find me at darling_gypsum on Twitter or all over the Nerdsmithdom. And I play Jovi, who is a mixologist and also a tiefling. Mixologist by trade and class. And I am very excited. And as I put in our going live tweet, to alcohol, the cause of and solution to all of life's problems. So that's me in a nutshell.
Sounds like such an interesting thing. I love this sort of mime work.
It's me in a nutshell.
Yes, no.
Okay. Just making sure. Sorry, weird mood when the Austin Powers references start coming out.
Yeah, but nevertheless, we're thankful for it, and we're thankful to everybody who's found themselves here today. Our adventure, and indeed many of the adventures across the Nerdsmith network, are inspired and sponsored by World Anvil, the most campaign management software available currently. Constantly coming out with new and exciting features and ways to support creativity and world building that you will want to investigate if you're even slightly creatively inclined, be you a novelist, be you a comics writer, be you a DM. If you are looking to encapsulate a world on a web page that is smoothly constructed, well maintained, and well curated, World Anvil is the service of choice to employ. You can go actually to worldanvil.com for free to give them a shot, give them a try. So for about the cost of like a pristine sticker from like a pawn shop, or no, a pristine sheet of stickers from a pawn shop. Yeah,
a single sticker.
Not a single sticker, unless it's like one of the ones that's like about the size
Vintage,
of palm of your hand.
In the shrink wrap still.
Like probably like one of those like rare Lisa Frank stickers. Anyway. At any rate, for about $3 a month, you can actually get access to even more features on this wonderful, wonderful service. Again, worldanvil.com for you to try if you so desire, and you will desire, let me tell you, as soon as you start using it to support them, you can do that. And join up, light up the forge, and have a fun time with worldanvil.com. We are also sponsored perpetually by Die Hard Dice, the purveyors of the most pristine polyhedrals in the multiverse. They come out with new sets all the time, both polymer and metal, which Angela is so lovingly modeling right now. Just wonderful designs by a wonderful group of folks that we cannot endorse heartily enough. Each one is as incredible as the last, and if you want to, you can roll with the best by checking out dieharddice.com.
Why would you want to?
Yeah, why
That's a
not?
good question.
It's a good question. It's good to get these existential things at the front of the.
Do you want to
the
roll
front
with
of
the
the production.
best?
Do you?
What is best?
Indeed. What is best in life, Conan? Wait, I don't think that's what we're going for. But dieharddice.com.
See, my job is to keep you off the rails.
Yeah. No, and I'm especially feeling that now. But no. So happy to be here and so happy to be a part of the Nerdsmith Network. If you want, you can go to nerdsmith.org/support, which will redirect you to our Patreon page. Yes, we have a Patreon now. So you can go over there, mosey on, and see how you can support this show and so many others through the Nerdsmith Network. It's really just a fine group of creative folks that I cannot but sing the praises of. We also very quickly would like to thank, well, the two players who are here for the work that they've put in, given the beautiful art by Rachel at Telenier, and the wonderful work on the intro video by Angela McCain. Yes, again, just follow them and sing their praises highly enough. And we also thank Logan Bryce, who's on production, at Devious Muppet on Twitter, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
But for now, there's a little bit of an issue that must be solved as we welcome you all aboard.
Not again.
Yeah, no.
More issues.
It's Mercy's fault, isn't it?
No.
Not necessarily. Not necessarily. I plead the fifth. Anyway.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what I thought.
It's never my fault.
Just hearing Han Solo. It's not my fault.
Marvelous. So, the crew of the Final Rites finds itself the lockdown mode at the current juncture. At the current point in time, there are several concerns which are being raised surrounding a cabal of worshippers who have infiltrated the Final Rites with clerics and other various sneaky folk, high rollers in service to a lesser deity known as the Beast Lord, by one of many names. Malar is an ongoing concern, one that everyone in the group is presently obsessed with and continues to be obsessed with as they make their way from the quarters of the Keeper of the Ledger, known as Nowhere, and guided by the Keeper of the Hull, a wonderful, wonderful bronze dragonborn by the name of Bahazet. This is not the first time that a problem has been encountered aboard the Final Rites. Probably won't be the last either, but in the scant few months that Jovi and Mercy have been party to, there have been some incidents of note. One we did hearken back to a few months ago, concerning a little bit of a tiff that broke between a demon and a devil.
That was a long time ago, yeah. But we dealt with it.
Dealt with it just fine. And indeed, as you march down the many lanterned quarters of the Final Rites and ascend the staircase to the High Rollers' suites, another incident sort of plagues your mind, specifically, Jovi. not because it was particularly pertinent, but because it was particularly memorable. After your initial interaction with Mercy, you gotten to know each other a little bit more. Hamish was, at that point, still very much the professional, the mentor, as it were, not the paramour that you so enjoy at the current juncture.
Gotcha. No googly eyes.
Well, I mean, it's probably one of those like Pride and Prejudice things where it's like meaningful
We
glance.
brushed hands. Oh
Yeah.
my. Pearls
Yeah.
clutched.
Exactly. Like so, like not to that extent, but like yeah, that sort of veneer of distance still separates
I gotcha.
the affection.
Jovi'd been hitting on him for a long time. I understand.
Yeah, and Hamish had been returning in kind. But another incident happened to unfortunately unfold. One that must be described henceforth. We're going to go with a little bit of an ephemeral, sort of sometime earlier approach to this, a particular flashback. But sometime earlier, Mercy,
That's me.
I need you to roll me a Constitution saving throw.
Oh boy. What have I drank this time?
To start,
To start, I'll have you know, I am very good at holding. Wow, not that good apparently. I didn't realize my con was only +1. Well, that's actually 16.
Okay, so 17 total?
No, with the +1.
Oh, with the +1,
the
gotcha.
spirit is willing, but the body is weak.
Soft, squishy. Oh god.
Yeah, that's I tried to avoid the
It tried, but you know, you can only get so far from me. Anyway, Mercy, you do not awake with the hammering and clanging of the jail cell doors as you hear them dragged across this sort of heavy wooded floor that you have called home for a little while yet. The broom closet that you inhabit, which receives these very strange silk sheet deposits every now and then.
Very odd.
Yeah, so odd. You will only find if you want to find out where that happened. What's the last session? Jesus. So,
and they're just a little dirty. All you have to do is wash them, and you can reuse them. It's
Exactly.
but no, that
why
must,
are they just throwing them down here?
it
They're
must be-
perfectly fine.
yes,
They just have to get washed.
yeah, so, the expenses are ridiculous. Anyway, so, as I said, you do not wake with any sort of disturbance. It seems that the and libations have not affected your senses in any adverse manner. However, you do wake as there is a strong whistle that emerges from the corridor aside, and the sound of infernal swearing, which you do understand infernal, yes?
Mm-hmm.
As Whistler seems to be struggling with one of the more rowdy, patrons within this space.
Oh, dealing with rowdy patrons is like the one thing that makes her job worthwhile. So, she is up and probably fell asleep in her clothes. So, and instantly just like sticks her head out the door to try and see what's going on.
Damn it, Hell! Would you stop? You hear the thwomping of flesh against baton as Whistler seems to be kind of beating back this many-tentacled horror that is trying to slip past the jail cell door. There.
So it's on it's on the other side in the cell.
Yes, it's basically Whistler is in the corridor with what seems to be like a truncheon, for want of a better term, and is indeed trying to beat back whatever the hell is trying to be contained.
So, hey there, Whistler, you got this under control. I noticed that maybe bars aren't the best design, tentacled, ephemeral, and or liquid guests aboard this boat. That's a good point. Who designed the cells? And then I just start going off on a tangent.
He immediately tries to respond, and then in semi-horror movie fashion, a tentacle wraps around his mouth and like pulls his head forward a little bit. You get the sense that he probably needs your help.
Oh, okay, sure thing. So how I assume this cell's already been like locked?
It seems to be. It's sort of like the. Actually, yeah, that'll be an investigation check.
Let's investigate. Well, that's a 1. Not natural 1, it's a 2 minus 1.
Pooh,
Somehow feels worse. Your stats are against you.
Question mark? You're sort of, shall we say, your suspicions are confirmed, in that the design is very rudimentary. You know, these are just bars. Like, yeah, there are like some symbols that Whistler seems to be trying to kind of maybe sort of touch and imbue with some sort of power, but it's like, it doesn't seem to be much help as Whistler swamps the tentacle that is wrapped around his mouth specifically and wrenches his head away, many sucker marks kind of dotting his face in a ridiculous kind of beard. At which point he yells, "The damn flu one! You shoot!" He's immediately trying to point in the direction of one particular rune, although it's not blue. Remind me what languages you speak?
I speak Common, Infernal, and Primordial.
Yeah, no, you don't understand, unfortunately.
Was that blue or flu or clue?
There are ones that seem to correspond with various languages. Like, you speak Primordial, and indeed there is one that is labeled yellow, and then there's one above it, and then there's one even above that.
Well, hold on. How about I just try and give you a hand first? I mean, you're gonna get throttled soon, so just hang tight. But not too tight. That would go against what we're really trying to achieve here. Just hold on. And she is going to dash up to the bars and make like knife hand kind of form, and is just gonna like kind of like do an uppercut punch inwards into this like tentacly mass, and gonna try and hit to start with.
Yeah. So go ahead and roll for attack.
You got it. Oh, hang on. Let's go back to actions. Oh, DDB. Well, that will be a dirty 20.
Yeah. Guess what? That hits. So go ahead and roll for damage.
Damage? Oh, D6. There it is. It's a 10 damage, and I would like to try using Stunning Strike.
Sure, go ahead.
Alright, I think you need to make a... hang on. It's... So Stunning Strike's in a weird place on here. It's not where I think it should be.
Yes.
Nope.
Although I do appreciate you using the only bit of that song that we can use without getting copyright strike.
Okay, sorry, Stunning Strike. You need to make a Constitution saving throw.
DC?
DC... What is it for me? I think it'd be 13.
13. All right. So, as your hand rockets into the mass of, like, tentacled flesh, you actually get a better look at this creature. Apparently there's what seems to be a very vicious beak that is embedded amidst kind of like a brain. It's not Yeah, it's kind of oddly cute, but as you stunning strike, it actually hits the beak, sets it askew, and it kind of spins in on itself before being like squawking at you ridiculously as its tentacles kind of fall to the side and I'm assuming is stunned?
Yes.
Yes. In that amount of time, with that, Whistler wrenches down the last of the bars and immediately the maximum containment of the maximum containment rune, which glows in a pale blue light that deepens into a sapphire, and a force field sort of connects itself between the bars.
I pull my arm out before it gets cut off. Whoop!
Which it was under threat, as you do notice there is sort of like a lightsaber material that this containment facility is made of. I thought the boss had told you exactly what the hell this whole thing was about.
And I thought I told you. He doesn't tell me anything.
It's been a month. Just hear him kind of.
Yeah, I think sometimes he tries to conveniently forget that I exist, but that's okay. I'm good at reminding him.
Oh, just believe me. I believe that.
Hey, and also, I totally freed you. I stunned the tentacle monster, so thank you would be nice.
A pathetic whimper kind of escapes the collapsed form of Whistler. Jovi, excuse me. I don't know how to put this. Let's just say that, and I believe I'm getting the name correct on this particular creature. Let's just say a wild grell had made its way apart from its master and maybe set about raising the concierge quarters with wild abandon.
So a flying brain with a bird beak is
and very important, tentacles. Lots of tentacles.
Yeah, I'm seeing barbs. This is not pleasant.
Yeah, no, it's really it is very much a sort of odd pet to keep.
A good boy.
I'd say an odd pet, but not an odd pet to have on board this particular ship.
Very true, very true. Especially considering that the owner turned out to be a mind flayer. Anyway,
yeah, we're not gonna worry about that.
So let's just say that this creature had set itself loose, and maybe in the course of the panic and destruction, a portion of Hamish's bar inventory kind of got smashed. How would what would your reaction be as you've been?
Do I walk in on the carnage, or did I witness the carnage?
You did not bear witness to the carnage, but that was only because you were on break. And I'll say, shall we say?
Alright, so I took a smoke break and I came back.
And things were yeah. You actually see Hamish kind of, as you return from, I assume, the gambling hall?
Yeah.
There's a bit of a ruckus that you hear in the middle of your break, but it's like, you got 7 minutes left.
There's a ruckus in here, I mean.
Yeah, exactly. You come aboard, the bar is absolutely smashed, and Hamish is just sort of sadly brooming up bits of broken glass.
It seems I missed the party.
Only a little bit, I suppose. All can be forgiven, though, if you don't mind. You actually see him mage hand you a duster and dustpan.
Sure thing, boss. What happened?
Like I care. Some grell must have gotten away from its master. Don't know how, but That was a whole thing. He kind of mutters to himself as he continues sweeping up.
Sure, that I suppose you could constitute that as a thing. She like kind of looks around to make sure the grill's not still there. Like that seems awful.
Nope. Hamish notices this and says, the scrawny one, the jailer, took custody of it, much to the chagrin of the master of the creature.
Great. Good.
Decent. Lost a lot of
Alright.
inventory. Gonna need your help cataloging it if you wouldn't mind, of course.
It's my job, of course not. And then she'll kneel and with the broom and like the dustpan, let him brush it into the dustpan. She's trying to help.
Yeah, this will be, I guess, a general, a general dexterity check.
Roll to clean.
Roll to clean. That's a 10.
Decent enough job.
There's
A little bit.
glass. Ow.
Yeah, like a little bit slower than Hamish would be used to, but he recognizes that, hey, I'm mentoring you. I've got to, make you cognizant of not only the hazards of the job, but also the upkeep that is associated with it. He's yet to actually let you in on stuff like inventory and the like, but that will come with time, maybe more immediately, especially considering that you see him kind of, make an insight check.
Jesus. 7. He's a
see-
fucking brick wall at this point.
Yeah, really, like, it was one of those things where it was like, you knew what he was thinking about, you just didn't know how he was thinking about it, I suppose. But he's sort of looking at all the smashed inventory and gritting his teeth. No, I do not have the mental capacity for this. You know someone, that greenskin tiefling. What's her name?
I believe it's Mercy.
Mercy. He bit up on that demon, I think it was. Anyway, I'm assuming that Raphael will be more than happy to help me secure some of the more obscure items, but the common stuff we can probably take from cafeteria, eh?
Sure.
Aye.
I'm on an away mission then.
Sorts.
Away from the bar.
I think, and he kind of crosses his arms at this juncture and scratches at his neck, I think Raphael will be preoccupied with a good damn lot. And as far as I know, I'd have to amend our original contract in order to get access to the cafeteria. That does not extend to crew members. And he kind of blinks a couple of times. If you could persuade your friend to maybe take a list and ask for these specific items for a friend or for the good of the rites, maybe we could circumvent a lot of paperwork and save me even more of a headache.
Well, my goodness, that is just shy of duplicitous of you.
I don't know what you mean to imply.
Just give me a shopping list and I'll get it done.
He sort of twirls a stirring spoon, a bar spoon. What is that? What is that thing called? A cocktail spoon.
There you
right?
go.
Is that,
Yeah.
that's the thing.
That's
That's
the thing.
what it is. I know bars. He sort of twirls it within his fingers as he bids an unseen servant, which emerges from a tattoo across his left shoulder blade, and sort of drifts to receive a pen and paper, whereby he can record the exact list that's been lost. Mercy,
Mm-hmm.
You have not been called upon, Bahazet. You have not been called upon by Bahazet today. So as far as you're concerned, that means you're free.
I mean, that sounds like freedom. Unless, does it mean actual freedom?
You think about that for a moment. Make a general wisdom check, let's say.
I'm quite wise. 16.
Okay. Even though technically you were found aboard the Rites and also had your name in the ledger, even though there wasn't business associated with it, okay. Maybe you're not free of the rights, but you're free to do as thou wilt. And Whistler doesn't seem to be needing any help in being collapsed in a heap.
Okay, in that case, Mercy will probably saunter up to the gambling hall in the bar. That's the most interesting place to go.
I would like you to make a perception check.
Uh-oh. 15.
All right. As you continue to the gambling hall, you actually time your ascent into it quite fortuitously, given the fact that Bahazet and one of the lieutenants, whose name you can't quite recall at the moment, seem to be escorting a very, shall we say, gently mannered mind flayer? A little bit of a misunderstanding seems to have kind of cropped up. One that, as you look to the concierge quarters, must have caused a bit of a ruckus. You get the sense that it's sort of like when you come to a friend's house after they said they've had trouble or something's happened in their kitchen and they need your help.
Yeah.
And as soon as you get there, you kind of understand what's happened. Just generally, there's water everywhere. There's just debris that's just generally being swept up, some by the crew, some by the concierge. And through the chaos of it all, you do note that Hamish and Jovi are currently locked in what seems to be some sort of conspiratorial measure as a list is handed off. Jovi, what languages do you speak again?
I speak Common, Infernal, and Dwarvish.
Okay, so Hamish switches to Dwarvish at this current juncture, and
the language of commerce.
Yes, exactly. a language of commerce, and immediately begins sort of saying, "Okay, I don't think that we're going to get in much trouble. Generally, I mean, it's the principle of the thing. Look, I'll smooth it over with Raphael if anything happens. Just find that Mercy and convince her of the importance of our mission. Because if we can get open before they do," and he points directly to the bioluminescent drow, who's not aghast, but certainly tersely assembling everything within their sphere of influence, means more for us. He kind of points to his entire bar.
You haven't met Mercy, have you?
Passingly, and he switches back to common.
It won't take much convincing, I don't think.
Even better. He hands you a shopping list.
All right. Don't have any idea if this is doable, but we'll do our best.
I'm sure someone as charming as you can figure out a way to get what you want.
Of course. I might need to name drop a high roller or something as part of this ruse. Is that going to be all right?
I'm sure that Mercy would know some sort of, shall we say, privileged individual. I mean, she is part of the crew after all, right? I mean, she knows what's going on.
Technically, It would be her responsibility to know what's going on. That much is technically correct.
I'm losing
It'll
more
be
than-
fine. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. She pats Hamish on the chest. It'll be okay. I'll have it covered. If you can't count on her, you can at least count on me.
My confidence in you is astronomical as always. And he
It should be.
and returns to his work. Christ. All right. Mercy, you see Jovi sort of pat the chest, and at this point you do sort of see each other across the chaos. And there is a list firmly within hand of the six. It should be noted because it hasn't come up a lot. The six-fingered hand of Jovi. At this point, this is the first time you've noticed. Oh, hey, Jovi has 6 fingers
On each hand.
on each hand.
Very expensive glove budget.
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah.
but Gork accommodates.
Yes, Gork accommodates.
Gork.
It's the only thing I get from Gork is these gloves.
It's the only thing. Nothing else. Anyway, so you see each other across this crowded room, mission in hand. Jovi, how do you approach this?
Jovi very delicately just is folding this list and pops it in like her sleeve. And with a glowing grin, saunters up to Mercy.
Oh, hey Jojo. Guess what? I have the day off today. Isn't that rad?
That is miraculous. That is, in fact, quite fortuitous. Would you like to go on a field trip with me?
Now, when you say field trip,
Not off the boat, I'm sorry.
well, then it's not accurate to describe it as a field trip because, in
When you're
fact,
shackled-
entering no fields.
When you're shackled to a bar, anything counts as a slight vacation.
Okay, where is this field trip to?
To the cafeteria.
Is that really a vacation though? Don't you just take lunch there like every day?
No.
What do you eat?
Why
What
would
do you
I-
eat?
That is not material to this conversation. All I will say is that I have been sent on a mission of the utmost importance, and if we succeed on said mission, there's a free drink in it for you.
I will do it on one condition. You
What?
tell me where and when you eat, because now I've started thinking about it and I've got this thread in my head. I'm not going to be able to really apply myself to this mission until you divulge said information.
Over at the gambling hall, usually I don't have to pay for my lunch if I have it with a accommodating guest.
Okay, that tracks. Lead on.
All right. Well, I have a slight confession to make. The plan as intended is not so much to have you tag along, but you are in fact a vital component to said caper. You're technically crew, which affords you some access that I do not enjoy. So basically, I have this list, and she pulls the list out and shows it to Mercy. I need to get the things on this list, but I need people to not ask questions and not know that it's technically for a contractor and not for crew. So I was thinking maybe we could try to bamboozle.
Steal.
If we
You're
can-
just creating a fluffier word for steal right now.
Well, bamboozle implies that someone gives us the food rather than we take the food. So I thought maybe we could just play off like we're doing room service or something, and maybe like a guest, really crotchety.
Because we really look like
demanding
the room
guest?
service crew, yeah.
Oh, well, but the more demanding guests don't really care what your responsibilities are.
I
They
mean,
tend to just grab you by the arm and make you do something.
Yes, but I really don't like those ones.
Well,
They really piss me off.
We could do
Mercy-
some role play. Pretend you don't hate them.
So like good cop, bad cop, but like good room service, bad room service.
But only good room service.
Mercy, I need you to roll a history check.
Okay. 17.
Okay. Yeah, there is a cafeteria. Yeah, you can sort of take food from it. And as far as you know, the crew is beholden to uphold the sort of tenets of neutrality. So even the most ridiculous requests could probably be fulfilled. I mean, you haven't seen Succulent, who is the sort of runner of the cafeteria, encounter something that was supremely out of his bounds. So, I mean, shouldn't be that hard. And since you are crew, like, there are certain luxuries that are afforded.
Okay, we start asking nicely, but I'm telling you, I reckon at some point we're just gonna have to try and slip them off the counter.
If it comes to that, I will leave that in your capable hands.
Especially since I'm not technically employed, they can't really sue me. So
I'm not sure that's the technicality of it. Being on the ledger and all.
I'm still that whole ledger thing. I feel like that was just maybe possibly like a nowhere prank, and I haven't quite like figured out her prank style yet.
Her prank style is a lack of prank style, so I wouldn't hold my breath.
Well,
Or her prank style involves you not waking up the next morning. I'm not quite sure.
maybe she pranked me like last night then, because it took me ages to wake up.
Oh, that just means you had a good time, darling.
I guess. All right, point me in the direction of wherever we're doing the thing we're doing. But I am gonna remind you that you do owe me that drink later.
Either way, I owe you a drink.
You betcha.
I would like you both at this point to roll wisdom saving throws.
Uh-oh. We've been conspiring too loudly.
I rolled a 24 total.
Where's my...
Almost a net 20.
Almost.
9.
Which one of us has the higher wisdom score?
I've got +2 wisdom. I should be
Me
better
too.
at
I
this.
don't know what happened.
So that was a 9 from Mercy and what from Jovi?
A 24.
Fucking wow. Okay.
Yeah, I
so-
said almost a net 20.
All right. So, Jovi, as you turn around, your experience is slightly different. Mercy, you know exactly where the cafeteria is. You do a little heel turn and begin descending down the hallway. Jovi, as you seem fit to turn, the echoes of this memory kind of reverberate out from your field of vision. It's a little hard to parse, but as you sort of walk along, you feel as though there's a bit of a lag input, for lack of a better term.
Like in the Matrix, sure.
Yeah, like your conscious mind, which is currently informing this memory, has now been somewhat separated from it, from the sort of dreamscape, as it were.
Mm-hmm.
And on the sort of periphery of your vision, you feel something alien, something dark.
Is that my flare?
But you continue along nonetheless, this feeling kind of churning in your stomach, and you get the sense that, hang on, something's going wrong here. But you both arrive to the doors of the cafeteria, and Mercy, you note nothing wrong. There are some windows that do let into the sphere. Pardon. Ready to be sort of viewed upon. Jovi, it's as if you're looking into deep and dark foliage. And as you sort of look up and look down, the rest of the final rites, it's perfectly as you remember it. But there's something wrong. It's indescribable at the moment, but it's wrong.
And this is outside of our actions in this memory.
Yes.
This is the meta Jovi.
Yeah, it's sort of like the moment in a lucid dream where you realize, oh, wait a minute, I can control what happens?
Wow, that's what you get on a 24, folks. Galaxy brain.
Yeah, apparently.
Well,
that cat gif, I see stars.
For a reason, of course. Jovi, you're perfectly fine. I mean, door to the cafeteria is right there. Can't be that bad, right? And you do remember your next response, which was something along the lines of, what?
Mercy or Jovi?
Mercy.
Oh. What are you okay there? Got a little spacey. Only there, Jove. By Jove and all that.
that makes her chuckle and kind of bounce out of it. No, I'm fine. You've got the list. Have you actually read it yet?
Oh shit! Yeah, sorry. I read the list.
All right, that's important. And look, kind of keep an eye out for authority figures while we're walking around.
I'm very good at that.
Jovi, you note that as you hand off the list and Mercy, you begin to read it. Mercy, go ahead and make a wisdom saving throw again for me.
No.
No's not a number.
That's the strangest number I've ever heard of. No,
I got a whole nope. Meaning 4.
Yeah, no, you see the list perfectly well. You can't quite remember what it is, but you know the list. Like you did receive this list from Jovi. Jovi, there is nothing on the page that you handed over to Mercy. Mercy, door to the cafeteria is right behind you. You hear the hustle and bustle of the crew and the shouting of Succulent. What do you do?
Mercy, remind me what it is again we need to get from in here.
Can you, would you mind reading the list out loud?
Oh, there was a list. Yeah, the list, sure. I try and look at the list myself.
The door opens at this certain juncture, and a face kind of pokes out. And I need you both to roll, let's say, dexterity saving throws. Or dexterity checks.
Oh.
11.
18, sorry.
Okay. Mercy, you spin out of the way without a problem. Jovi, crashing into you is a familiar face. This incident did occur where you conferred with Mercy, and a memory kind of floats back to the surface. The face is kind and sort of... it's kind of one of these things where a person knows that they did something bad and kind of takes a few steps back. 1,000 apologies, ma'am. You see a human man with a...
Oh, we don't trust those.
roughly hewn beard with kind of long hair, braided to a sort of short ponytail. He takes a little bit of a bow, and you see that he seems to be a crew member of some description. But he takes a bow once more and
no, totally all right, darling. That's just my fault too. It's all right.
My apologies. Didn't see you there. Just had a long night, I suppose.
Well, I'm gonna have to try real hard not to take offense to that.
Oh, well, hope that I can somehow make it up to you. Uh, Hang on. And he kind of turns over to Mercy. Oh, you're that girl what fell through that portal over that poker
yeah,
table,
I believe. Yeah, it was a poker table. I think I still have the imprint of some chips, like on my butt.
Wait, really? And he
You
kind
can
of
certainly cash that in. Sorry.
you actually make this joke, and
Yep.
it got a raucous laugh in the dream. I need you both. Well, Mercy specifically, please. Roll just one more wisdom saving throw, just to see.
Giving me one last chance. No. That's 7.
All right, that informs me greatly. So as you see this figure sort of laugh, you see him throw his head back, and a snout, Jovi, a snout elongates itself and kind of distends from his mouth, as if he suddenly turned into a werewolf for a split second and then immediately turned back regular, accompanied by a sort of modular pitch shift in his manner. Snapping back to what the memory was, he kind of grabs at his belly. Sorry, I'm new aboard the rides. It's been a little bit of time since I've had cause to laugh. At least that hard.
Make the most of it. There won't be much more around here.
Oh, I can't imagine. Been here for about 6 months now. It's just a fun time, I can tell, especially with what's his name? Then he kind of pauses for a second. Baja
Black Sheep. Yeah, got it.
Something like that, I suppose. But no.
He loves being called that. Seriously, call him that sometime.
Make a deception check.
Heck yeah, 18.
Oh God.
Really? I've never pegged him one for nicknames, but yeah, I'll give it a shot.
It's like a code word. He gets really friendly when you use that.
Oh, all right. Must be very personable, this one, huh? You kind of.
Oh yeah, you can make real close kin friendship with him, and then you know he's just really supportive, really sensitive once you get to know him. Actually,
marvelous. Well, I'll endeavor to get to know him then. But what brings y'all here? Y'all here for just spot of lunch?
Yes, actually we are. We'd like to have, and I look at the list again.
Nothing. It's like that there's something on this list, and you should be able to read it, but it's like.
Jovi, could you tell this nice gentleman what it is we want for lunch exactly?
Well, can I try to just conjure up some things that we might be missing at the bar? Like, try just to think of what ingredients I could bullshit?
Make a history check.
Okay. Wow. That's a nat one.
Nice.
Immediately you
So
start sort of rambling off these sort of things.
I start looking at my bag, listing things in my bag. Just
like a glass vial. No, wait.
Some lemons. Lemons might be good.
I follow up with liquid lunch. That's what we're here for.
Make a deception check, Mercy.
Okay.
It's 5 o'clock on some plane.
19.
Wow. Let's hope those keep going. We need to lie our way through this a lot, apparently.
Okay, I'll describe it thusly. Jovi, you note that the eyes of this individual sort of shift again, and instead of just the 2, there are now 4, all aglow with a sinister red light.
Well,
a sort
that's
of
a bad
dark
guy.
shadow creeps along his form. The sort of mahogany hair cresting into darker shades of black that kind of covers the top of his forehead as you continue to sort of erroneously describe, sort of going counter to the memory. As Jovi, you struggle with this. Mercy, you step in between and say, yeah, liquid lunch, nothing more. And you do recall, oh yes, there was a bit of an awkward moment that did happen, but no, you suggested that you just all get drunk.
You should join us, bro. I mean, it could be fun. You're on break, right?
Well, sure, of course. Ladies first, I suppose. He swings the door open and cordially bows.
Woo, drinking buddies. Are you coming, Jovi? What were we actually here for again? Did we just come to go drinking with some dude? Because if so, that's fine.
Sure. Let's. We have a little time. We can make friends.
Nice.
Jovi's very okay. I just go with it.
Yeah, and you see the individual sort of smile warmly back at you. You remember this face. This is a friendly face.
I also remember the werewolf face.
Yeah. Well, actually, you don't remember the werewolf face.
Do I at least
Not
remember
at all.
something being unsettling? Or is it like flickering in my memory of it being unsettled at all?
It's like flickering in and out where this sort of whatever is going on, your conscious mind is saying, no, this is bad. This is actually one of the worst things that could happen, as I need you to roll an Arcana check. And Mercy, just because I'm...
Excuse me, getting a werewolf drunk is the best thing that could happen.
That's really not. Go ahead and roll a wisdom saving throw just one more time.
17.
Yes.
Yes. Unfortunately,
Then he goes,
Finally.
Unfortunately, the DC was 18. But no. I kid. It was 15. So, as you actually step into the cafeteria, you get the same sense as immediately almost a branch sort of hits your face as you enter into the cafeteria.
Ow!
Which, that didn't happen before. Wait a minute. Joey, what did you roll for Arcana?
15.
Uh-oh. As you are sort of... Do you actually willfully enter into the cafeteria as Mercy had done, or do you sort of hang back?
I hesitate for a moment. Like I'm still trying to... Yeah, it's just weird. Feeling really off right now. Don't know why.
Come in there, friend. And you hear the kind voice kind of usher you in. There was a hesitation before, but it was for a different reason.
Sorry. I'm so sorry. I just it's been a weird morning. And she'll slowly step into the cafeteria.
As you do, ducking past the foliage, you hear a voice behind you. Oh, don't worry. It growls in a deep baritone as the door slams shut behind you. Through the window upon it, you see, again, these four eyes sort of all snap to you, pupilless and yet intently staring at the both of you now. It'll only get weirder. Immediately, the visage collapses into sort of a werewolf shadow that whisks itself away from your view.
Wait, did some person, let me get this straight, Jovi, did someone just lock us in the cafeteria and then say things were gonna get weirder and then bamf out like Phantom of the Opera?
Oh my god, okay, you saw it too this time. Oh my god.
But like, if
Joey
that's
just
a prank,
immediately grabs Mercy's wrist, like, okay, thank God. Okay.
but like, if that's a prank, that's really pathetic. And honestly, that evil laugh he did afterwards was really undeserved.
There are not a lot of pranks on this boat, Mercy.
Well, that's boring.
I want to look around the room Am I still seeing foliage? Is it the cafeteria? What are we looking at?
Well, first of all, I need to know y'all's passive perception.
Oh, mine's pretty good. I think mine is 15 or something.
Perception.
Yeah, 15.
I think I am also a 15. It's 10 plus our perception, right?
Yeah, D&D Beyond should list it for you.
I'm using World Anvil.
Yeah.
Double check. I'll just double check.
World Anvil Heroes. One of the many, many wonderful features that is that you can find.
I don't think you add your whatever you call
I
it.
think you do. Yeah, I think you do.
Cool.
Yeah,
Then
yeah.
it's 10 plus 5 plus the 18 passive perception.
Okay, so as you both, I'll say just for simplicity's sake, as you both look around and scan this space, it is completely apart from the cafeteria that you remember. You remember this very clearly. This was one of the junctions where you met Jethro. Jethro was a member of the crew of the Final Rites, under the auspices of, you can't quite remember at the moment, but Jethro helped you secure what was on the list, and y'all actually had a pretty okay rapport. Nothing happened. Especially not this. And as you look around, the foliage is dense, it is dark, it is sinister, for lack of a better word, and definitely, shall we say, magically influenced. Especially Jovi with a 15 in Arcana. You do know there are magics, illusory magics, which draw upon memories as a source to confuse and confound. Well, you've only heard them in the context of hunters, so to confuse and confound prey.
I am going to... Jovi's going to reach into her bag and try to pull out a shot from her bag to down.
Is Jovi, is now really the time?
No, you should have one too.
Okay, yeah, you're actually 100% right. What am I saying?
She gives them both a shot of squid ink. Not literal squid ink, but
Oh, I was about to say.
It's what the drink's called.
Ew.
Ew.
It's probably got some charcoal in it, which is why it's that really dark color.
Oh, it's a charcoal activated cocktail.
Yeah.
Really good for your teeth.
Have you ever had charcoal lemonade? That is what this is.
No.
It's okay. Real talk here. That's actually really good. I like it a lot. But
learning
anyway.
new things every day. Go ahead.
Sorry. So it gives us a D6 to a saving throw, going for the next minute. So I'm just a little like, okay, maybe this is a dream. Maybe this is a warped memory. I don't know, and I don't know if this shot will help at all, but maybe it will, because subconsciously
always help. Always, 100% of the time, it'll help.
At least the placebo might help.
All right. So, as you are both aware that you are now within this mind trap, you do note that there is sort of a tether that is keeping you here. It feels as though it is tied at the bottom of your stomach. Jovi, this was sort of the sensory feeling that you felt on the outside, but as the door has been shut and as you have sort of assessed the situation, it's grown stronger and stronger, to the point where you actually hear distant voices, like just sort of calling out. It's strange. But if you would like, you can both roll a wisdom saving throw and tell me the result.
You have a D6 you can add after the roll if you'd like.
Oh, I think I will. So at the moment it's 13. Okay, 16.
17.
Okay, interesting.
I used my D6 as well.
Wow, okay. So immediately the both of you try to sort of will this this tether to sever itself. Your conscious energy sort of fight against it, but as it does, you feel two other tethers sort of shoot into your chest and around your neck, as if, excuse me, your resistance has caught the attention of some other figures. Immediately, sort of in the space in ahead of you, you get the sense that there are how can I explain? It's like you're being dragged forward by these three influences, and they are ahead of you, but they're hard to make out because you can't see. The foliage is too thick. It's the old adage of if you're going through hell, keep going.
So we walk forwards, Joey?
Not sure there's much else to go. Yeah, sure. Jovi's gonna pull a knife out of her mixologist kit.
There is one, and indeed, you actually note that you're not in the sort of accoutrement that you were in the memory. You're in your current sort of outfit. You've got everything that you have now, in the present moment. You're just stuck in some real genjutsu shit at the moment. Like,
Yeah. It's Hachi! I know you're here!
Yeah, pretty much. So, as you sort of continue forward, I would like you both to roll dexterity saving throws.
Got it. That would be a 13.
7.
Okay. So you are actually rocketed forward through the foliage as you kind of take your first tentative steps. It's like, okay, we need to go. As you are pulled, you are almost within a sort of clearing, an arena of sorts. A sort of gravel pervades the ground as this dark forest continues to serve. The tethers themselves seem to move around and through your body, as you get the sense that whatever is doing all of this is sort of encircling you. At this point, given that this was quite a, shall we say, violent act, this will be 11 points of bludgeoning damage for you, Jovi, and half of that for you, Mercy.
Oof.
Yikes.
You start to hear voices kind of call out from the surrounding foliage. 3 in particular. We've been playing for long enough. Can't we tear them apart? Patience. Patience. They've not yet tired themselves out. Pray that tires itself out. It's no fun to eat. You hear these voices again just sort of bicker amongst themselves as you stand amidst the clearing.
Well, knowing that, I guess we just don't tire ourselves out. Jovi, how does that sound? And I sit down on the floor.
I wouldn't sit though. And I'm reaching into my bag again, like fuck, under my breath.
As you sit down, what was that passive perception again, Mercy?
15
Oh,
of
yeah.
5 of the teens.
Immediately you feel a sort of wet and heavy breath breathing down your neck as this sort of sinister voice kind of crawls out of the snout of this creature? Human? Really hard to tell at the moment, but nevertheless, Oh, come on. Thought you would put up a fight.
Well, my mom told me never to start a fight, only to finish one. And is this thing right in front of me?
No, you feel it right behind you.
In that case, I will take kind of the chain of the hammer, which has just been in my lap, and then just try and like swing it around for a big old smack.
Go ahead and roll for attack.
That is a 15.
As you swing around, unfortunately, the hammer hits bare gravel as indeed it slams to where the voice was. You sort of turn your head, kind of confused, reorient yourself, and then immediately see in front of you a hulking form. A wolfish kind of snout extends forward as you note, again, 4 red eyes and long, sinister claws. Just a very, very bad scene right in front of you as a toothy grin extends.
Well, hello.
I need you both to roll initiative.
Yay.
Woo, 24.
Ooh, 18.
Okay, so 24, 18. I will say that Mercy, you have the first move as you note this individual is trying to claw at you. What would you like to do?
I call out to Jovi. Why does this only ever happen on the final rites when no one with any authority is here to believe us and we tell them about it? And then I am going to jump in with the mace. Well, the hammer.
All right, go ahead and roll for attack.
Okay, that's going to hit because it's 27.
Let me pull up the stat block just to confirm. And here we go. Oh yeah, no, that's leaps and bounds. Yeah, go ahead and roll for damage.
So that is a total of 9 points of bludgeoning.
9 points of bludgeoning damage for this attack as you plant the hammer right in the middle of the chest of this creature. It sort of rockets back, but secures itself rather sturdily. What else would you like to do?
I would like to use my second attack, because I have 2 attack actions, to essentially, the arc of the hammer just keeps going, and it's like a propeller. I go doof, doof, and hit him again.
Alrighty. Arc of the propeller goes.
And that is a 18.
An 18 to hit. Still hits. Go ahead and roll for damage.
Phew. This time a 10 bludgeoning damage.
Yeah, that's a hefty chunk. So that's...
As I'm watching this, that's a total of, I think, 19 bludgeoning so far. As I'm watching this, does it look like my blows are hitting properly or doing the proper amount of damage?
As you continue to swing into the form of this creature, it's corporeal in a sense, but sort of illusory. The sort of shadows of this place kind of cling to it and drift off in a very, very, very Taken fashion, like Taken from Destiny. But they are registering, they are hitting, and they are hitting hard. As you note, this figure, in the short span of time that you have been engaged in combat with it, seems to have underestimated you.
Well, that's good, because I'd like to use Flurry of Blows to strike twice more.
Go ahead.
Hey.
Ooh, I don't think that's going to hit there. That's a 10.
Ew, that's a 10, you'll say.
Yes.
Okay, so now a little bit more in tune with your tempo of combat. This werewolf kind of ducks to the side and like uses its elongated arms as a semi-shield. Not in any sort of, not in any sort of like superior fighting style fashion, but mainly out of savage survival.
All right, and for my last of those 2 flurry of blows, Mercy makes an unhappy face and then changes the trajectory of the hammer so it's slamming right down on top of the thing.
Okay.
And this time is a what's maths? 16.
That hits. Go ahead and roll for damage.
And another 10.
All right, so 10 points of damage, yes?
Yep.
Yikes. It immediately cracks on the sort of center of the back, sort of where the neck meets the shoulder blades, and a howl is let out, and one of the tethers that is tied to your stomach actually begins to sort of loosen as pain is inflicted upon this poor creature. Is that all that you've got in the tank?
I think that's all of my many bops.
Alrighty. Jovi, you are about, almost without recognizing it, you drifted away from Mercy a little bit by about 15 feet or so. I'd like you very quickly to roll a perception check.
17.
Okay. 17. Okay, so with that, that'll be... Okay, so as you sort of look, scan the surrounding dark forest, you see one more figure. One, as it sort of registers, it kind of tugs at you, and the sort of leash around your neck kind of pulls you a little forward.
Jovi reaches into her bag and just like glances around, knows by texture what bottle, like shot she's pulling out, and chucks a bottle of venom at this thing. It's a saving throw, so a 15 con save.
Oh no. Got some bad news. That's a no. So
That's a no.
That's a 5.
Oh man, that's the worst number.
Yeah, 5 on the dice. I mean, I wish
okay.
that it was higher, but
okay. So with that, takes 16 poison damage.
Ow!
Yeah.
Yikes!
So yeah, she just she feels that pressure and is just like, son of a bitch, just throws that at him, and it's very caustic. And she's just trying to tug away from it. That's all I can do.
Yeah, as you sort of see the glass shatter on this form, the shadows burn away and kind of leave this semi like fleshy residue that sloughs off with the poison affecting it. You note this is not a wolf-faced were person, but instead kind of a baboon face, very red, very lined with creases, and very toothy still, but very much angry with you for having hit it.
And she's just reaching into her bag, ready to chuck another one if he gets closer.
Alrighty. At this juncture, it's the werewolf's turn. Well, the first one I'll get to as you are engaged, as he is engaged in combat with Jovi, or excuse me, Mercy. Mercy, go ahead and tell me, just real quick, if a... Yep, go ahead and tell me if a no, not a 13. An 11 is gonna hit.
No.
I didn't think so, but here we go. How about a 14?
Nope.
Dang. All right, so immediately these 2 slashes sort of carve their way toward you as this werewolf howls in pain and anger. One more attack, this with the bite. Haha. Aha! Now let us see. here. If 17 hits?
Only just.
Only just, you say.
My AC is 17.
All right, so that's going to be 10 points piercing damage.
Mm-hmm.
And I need you to make a constitution save.
Heck yeah, I'm gonna be a were-tiefling wolf! Fail, fail, fail!
A teeth wolf.
Tiefling. Oh, I rolled a 16.
You, unfortunately, as actually... I'll say that Mercy's probably heard about werewolves before. If you get bit by a werewolf, you're cursed with lycanthropy. But lycanthropy sounds awesome, so who cares? Problem being, in the context of the current, it seems that as the snout extends and bites into you, there's a sort of black ichor that pervades the bite mark and seeps into the wound, and oh lord, it burns.
All right.
However, you are able to resist its sort of effects and do not subsequently take any acid damage.
Could I use a reaction to cast Hellish Rebuke?
If you so desire.
I do! That is a dexterity saving throw that you have to make.
Alright, dexterity saving throw of 10.
No.
Didn't think so.
I'm gonna take... Oh, that's pathetic. That's also pathetic. Oh my god, what a terrible roll. You are going to take 8 fire damage. As, Mercy just kind of goes, oh, well, you were really close with that last one, and then just goes with, these kind of bright magenta flames just kind of burst up around it.
Nice. I like it. So, a magenta sort of swirl of flame encroaches upon this beast and crawls up its fur. It howls once more. You're getting the sense that this thing can only howl, which kind of stinks, and it's kind of getting annoying. It's like when you encounter a really annoying, like, minor enemy in a video game that makes the same sound over and over again, and you just want to...
Oh.
Yeah, never mind. But the flames sort of lick up the side of it. It is the worst looking werewolf that is possible at this point. But that's only because you can see this one. I need you just to make a real quick perception check for me.
Sure thing. That would be a 10.
Yeah, no. You don't see, as from behind you, an even more hulking form creeps up and slashes at you with advantage. So this will be a 15 to hit?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, actually, no, that doesn't hit. What am I talking about?
What? A 15?
No, I got 17 AC. I'm a monk.
I see. Interesting. Very good to know. So that's the first claw. Another 15. That's for the first attack, or the first 2 attacks. Mm-mm. And now with the bite. At advantage. I rolled a 3 both times.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So, completely wasting his opportunity. This sort of... It's strange. A sort of hooked beak almost tries to latch on your neck, but you immediately collapse to the ground and roll and get back up your feet, no problem. Looking to this were-buzzard, sort of carrion bird, terrifying, still shadowy, still with the 4 red eyes. Not a good look. That palette of attacks is done. Jovi, immediately crashing towards you, this more primate-ish figure thrashes at you with 12.
Does not hit.
Not natural 20.
That will hit.
And just 1 for the bite, a 19.
That will also hit.
Okay, so the claw and the bite. The claw is going to be 7 points of slashing damage, and the bite is going to be 6 points piercing. I need you also to roll a Constitution saving throw.
I'm good at that. That's a 25.
Again, this sort of like ichor, more greenish in color for this particular individual, kind of bites at your shoulder, and immediately sort of seeps in, burns for a little bit, and then is pushed out with your body's natural reaction, kind of like, get this out of my system. But that, excuse me, I told you the damage, yes? 13
Yes, you
total?
did.
All right.
Yes.
With that, however, the tethers are still firmly attached to each of you, and yeah, it's a fun time here in Dreamland. Mercy,
Mm-hmm.
you got 2 next to you. What you gonna do?
I'm gonna do some attacking. I'm gonna try and hit the wolf that's been damaged already quite a lot.
Okay, go ahead.
That is a 23.
Yeah, that hits. What a surprise.
8 damage.
8 damage, you say?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I need to do some math, unfortunately.
Uh-oh.
Aha, okay, so that's that. Still up, but again, the annoying sound is made. The annoying howl.
Oh, it's like, oh, will you just shut up? And it's gonna, with the second attack, gonna try and just put it down.
All right.
This time it's only a 14.
Only a 14. Just hits. Go ahead and roll for damage.
10 damage.
Are you 10? Just 10.
10 damage.
You crack onto the. You're basically harassing the skull of this creature now as you hammer into the back of it. You hear a definite crack, and shaken but still moving, this creature still kind of maintains focus and maintains the tether and maintains consciousness.
She is majorly pissed right now, so she's going to use on the key point to flurry of blows. It just keeps trying to just hit him repeatedly.
Go ahead.
Oh, that's not 20.
Woo!
Tell me, can you deal 3 points of damage?
I think yeah, I already deal default of 5 because I have +5 to my damage roll.
So, I'll mercifully say that, are you using the hammer or your fist?
This is the hammer. She's just spinning it around like a crazy juggernaut.
Yeah, and as you sort of spin it around, I'll say that you have kind of what could charitably be described as like a golf motion to your swing, and immediately sort of take the head off of this creature. It explodes in a sort of a vacuous sort of mist of shadow and blood. The tether in your stomach, both of you, releases suddenly, granting a little bit of relief. I'd like you to roll 1d4.
Oh, do I have a d4 here? Oh,
Both of
damn.
us?
Oh,
Yes,
damn.
both of you.
Oh, hang on, my dice box is full.
1.
1. You recover 1 hit point.
Yay.
Oh, wow. Hold on a sec, I'm just digging up a d4. I didn't think I was going to have to use one. Here's one. Okay.
You find yourself in need of a d4, go to dieharddice.com and find all the d4s that you need.
That's a 3.
You heal 3 points of damage.
Yay!
All right.
Okay, and then I've got one more hit left.
Yes, you do. Can it
Yay.
be toward a different target?
Oh, I actually don't know. I don't know if that's something the Drunken Master gets later. It just says you may make 2 unarmed strikes as a bonus action.
Okay, yeah, I read that as you can anybody in combat. So yeah, you got the big guy behind you.
All right, let's do one last. Okay, I'm not sure. 13.
13. Okay, so excuse me, with a 13. Oh no, that Sorry to say, that does not hit.
That's all right. And that's, I think, the end of my turn.
All right. So, with that, we now go to Jovi.
Head racing about what to do. She just does the first thing that comes to mind, which is to chuck another shot. It's the last shot she has, and it's another venom. And she hurls it at the one holding her at the thread.
Okay.
So it's a 15 con save.
15 con.
The gentle were-baboon.
The gentle were-baboon does not make 15. It makes a 14.
It takes 11 poison damage.
Ow. So, immediately the shot crashes into the face of this creature. And again, the same effect occurs. Anything else you would like to do?
And she draws her rapier. Now out of drinks that she can just chuck on a whim. She's just holding out with her rapier.
You hear sort of the snarling and groaning of this creature. Immediately, a flurry of blows is unleashed upon you as it is their turn. Not at advantage, but still, that's a not natural 20 against you, Joey.
Yep, that'll hit.
20, 22. I'm sorry.
20 and 22, yeah, those both hit.
So that no, it's just a 22. So that's 14 from the claws.
Okay.
And now for the bite, which is only a 12.
That does not hit.
Okay, so immediately the claws sort of disregarding your rapier and the pain that it feels coursing because of the poison, you get the sense that this wild baboonish creature is just looking to get you down, like bar none, given that its compatriot is sort of been splattered amidst the gravel.
She has sort of presumably has some sort of blood going down at this point. She's not looking very good.
Yeah, and Mercy, you kind of get that sense as you look across at Jovi. Mercy, still there?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, still there. Sorry.
Awesome. All right, so tell me, does a 14 hit?
No.
Okay, how about an 18?
Yes.
And one more time, how about a 7?
No.
So that's 7 points of slashing damage as between the claws and bite of this sort of Skeksis-looking son of a bitch. Like,
oh man, I want to make friends with it now.
Well,
Shouldn't have said that.
Well, it doesn't want to make friends with you, as you killed its friend, and it is now sort of solely focused on killing you. You get a 7 points of slashing damage. And
please take mercy.
Thank you for that. That was good.
That we couldn't get that on camera is my only regret.
Yeah.
So, go ahead and go with your move, Rachel.
Okay, so
I should have said nothing.
You should have done. You've made a big mistake. I'm gonna start with my 2 regular attacks. So that is a 15.
A 15, you say? Yep, that hits. Go ahead and roll for damage.
That's a 10. Man, this dice only rolls 5s. I love it.
All right, so that's a 10 on the
10 on the first
vulture.
attack.
All right.
Second attack is a 17.
17 hits. Go ahead and roll for damage.
That's an 8 damage this time.
Okay.
And because, I mean, it did just claw me, and this is basically going to be who drops first, because we're both hitty people. Flurry. Spend all the key points.
Go ahead.
All right, so that is a 19 and a 10.
19 and a 10 to hit.
Yeah, those are both the rolls to hit.
The 19 hits. Go ahead and roll for damage.
Okay. And that's another 8 damage.
An 8 damage, you say. All right.
Yes.
So interesting. So interesting. So that's math. Gotcha. So, hacking and hammering literally at this werevulture, you kind of continue your relentless assault, which, much to the chagrin of the sort of figure which still traipses around the outside, you note now the red eyes that you saw previously in Jethro are now sort of monitoring the situation from the dark forest. And it's a little concerned.
So, with the last part of my turn, because
Sure.
whenever you use Flurry of Blows, you gain the benefit of the disengage action, and your walking speed increases by 10 feet. So, can I disengage from Skeksis, and basically, can I back up so that Jovi is flanking whatever's attacking her?
You can, if you so desire.
Yeah, I want to help Jovi out in some way, so I'm just going to go and run over to her to kind of give her a bit of an easier job, and maybe make another target as well.
So almost immediately, Jovi, you feel a gust of wind sort of next to you as Mercy suddenly appears, flanking the werebaboon opposite you. The werevulture is like really confused as to how you could move that fast, but elated by this fact, and begins sort of flapping its wings, trying to fly over to you.
Mm-hmm.
Is that all you got, Mercy?
Yeah, that is my turn.
Great inspired idea. And Jovi's gonna grab a cocktail and chug a serving of that, which is the Mad Teas, and it gives her the benefits of the Zephyr Strike spell.
Nice.
And gives her some temporary HP.
Alrighty.
So, let's see what I get. So she's gonna chug that and try to get out of melee range of this baboon dude.
Okay, that will be a reaction, which will provoke
It
an attack.
will not provoke an opportunity attack because the Zephyr Strike spell movement does not provoke opportunity attacks.
Very
so
smart.
She's like, well, fuck this.
Yeah.
And she will back up so that she is not in melee range with this dude.
Very smart. Very smart. All right.
Try.
So, you back up, and I'm assuming away from the werevulture?
Yeah. I'm like, I gotta get away.
Okay, so roll for temporary HP.
Yeah, it's 2d8. 2d8 plus 4, so I gain 16 back. Or 16 temporary, rather.
16 temporary. Awesome. So immediately you regain these
I doubled
hit
my
points.
HP doing that.
Congrats. Wow, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I got hit a few times.
Yeah, so as you sort of step out of combat, I'm assuming that's all you can do?
Take a drink. That's all I can do.
Mercy, I got some bad news for you. You got to tell me if a well, that was a natural 20 on the floor, but 20 and 11 are going to hit.
Well, the 20's gonna hit.
And another 11. So that's another 7 points of slashing damage to you as the claw of this werebaboon strikes up and sort of gets along your chest and throat. And you actually notice as you look back down, there's no blood which seeps forth from these wounds, but wherever they hit, it's almost as if there's like an error in like an acid burn within a film, like as if reality itself kind of collapses around the wound and a shadow creeps in. Now we get to the bite, which is only going to be a 10, so never mind.
I'm just gonna call out, hey, Jovi, if you've got anything that's kind of rejuvenating, I could really go for just something right now.
So
I'm starting to melt.
All right, so that's a 6, a 22, holy shit, and a 17?
That'll be 2 of those are gonna hit, because it beats.
Okay, so that'll... 7 from the claw, and then I need you to roll a Constitution saving throw.
Yoinks! That's a 9.
9 total?
Yeah.
Okay, so this doubles the effect of the bite, which is going to be 12 points of...
Yeah, Mercy just falls forward. She's down.
Yikes. So, as Mercy, you fall to the ground unconscious. You, Jovi, hear the laughing and cackling of the two that are still upright. Mercy, you are sort of splayed amidst the gravel at this point.
Yeah, she's just Naruto, worn herself out.
It's now your turn, Jovi. What would you like to do?
Only feeling like she's made a stopgap in how shitty she feels right now. Jovi's going to thaumaturgy.
Okay.
And she is going to make her voice very loud, so that they all can hear her very clearly.
All right.
And she is going to shout at them. She's going to shout, I'm promised to something way scarier than you, so if you want to take me down, you're going to answer to someone else for it.
Make a persuasion check with advantage.
Oh, Jesus. It's only a 12.
With advantage?
With advantage, I rolled a 6 otherwise. That was some shitty rolls.
Okay. As this... Or wait a minute. Remind me in 5e, there's an actual intimidation
Yeah,
skill,
there's
right?
intimidation.
Man, yes. I'm bad. Reroll that with advantage for intimidation.
12 still.
Oh my god!
No.
No, I don't. Do I get triple advantage?
I wish that were a thing, but even
Maybe the DC's just low. I don't know. You tell me, DM.
As you sort of actually intone this, you feel the thaumaturgical effects amplified. It echoes through this cavernous space, and immediately you feel a slack in the sort of tethers that kept you here. But not only of your own doing. Indeed, you note that the four red eyes that had been patrolling this space have now since vanished. The dream begins to collapse charitably. Mercy, you are at Jovi, tell me your hit point total.
With or without the temporary?
Without the temporary.
Okay,
17.
17? Okay.
Yes.
Out
of much more than 17.
What's your max HP?
54.
Okay. Mercy, you're at 0, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and what's your max HP?
Oh, I think it's 34?
34. Okay. Wait, your max HP is 34?
Yeah. I mean,
I have a super high constitution ability, so it has to be high.
Kind of,
I feel terrible all of a sudden. But as the dream begins to collapse, you note that the two figures are kind of like frantically trying to figure out what's going on and what's going awry. I need you, Jovi, to roll a wisdom saving throw.
Okay.
Uh,
13.
Okay, that will not be enough, as unfortunately, yeah. So, ow. So that's 12 points of
Woo!
12 points of psychic damage that is incurred. Put it to you this way. The dream collapses, and immediately you are back in your corporeal forms. You are scattered amidst some kind of rites, and man, there's a lot of noise that hits your ears. A lot of panic, a lot of anger, and definitely a lot of bone crunching as you note that you presume from his accoutrement, spellcaster, who was maintaining this illusion, is currently being stomped on by Bahazet quite vigorously and quite judiciously. His unfortunately seemed to recognize the current situation. I'll say this. Jovi, as you are now in your corporeal form, you have equivalent hit points, but whatever temporary hit points you had are now just a part. Like,
well, here's the
hit
thing.
points.
I took damage equal to 1 more than my temporary hit points, so those are all gone.
Oops. But
so I'm only 1 down from where I was before.
But you also have a full thing of cocktails and
do.
tinctures and mixtures.
Hell yeah!
Now that you are in the real
dream
world.
drinks.
Because dream drinks, yes. Mercy, I will say that you marked off one death saving throw.
Yeah, because I would have got the damage. So that would have been auto fail on the first one.
Right. But as you are sort of consciously awake, you how can I phrase it? You're incapacitated for this round, but you are at half health generally.
Nice.
So as this round of combat ensues, we see the two who kind of note the spellcaster is getting their shit pushed in, rocket toward Bahazet with a flurry, which, wow, does a little bit of damage. So that's 7 times that. Okay. 7 times that times that. Wow, okay. So 30 some odd. Yep, 36 points of 36 points of damage, which is halved. Which is halved because, yeah, Bahazet is raging at this point. And you actually imagine him, or actually see him, sort of take these blows, irrespective of what they're doing. He continues to just savage this spellcaster. Jovi, you technically, what would you like to do?
Do I still have the effect of the drink I took even though it's gone, or no?
No, unfortunately.
Okay, no, that's fine. I just wanted to double check.
It's a dream cocktail.
Dream cocktails.
To that end, was I spending dream key points?
I will say that, yes, you were spending dream key points.
Okay, so I am going to same verse as the first. I'm gonna take a serving of mad teas.
Okay.
Actually, no. I'm going to, Mercy's unconscious right now?
No, I'm up.
Mercy
I just look a bit spaced out.
Okay, that's fine.
Incapacitated for this round. She'll be up the next.
Okay, can I still feed her a drink? I know that seems uncouth, but
If you
Throw
so
it like a
desire.
grenade.
If you so desire. Yes.
I reach for my funnel and yeah, pretty much. I want to give Mercy a drink rather than me.
Okay.
I would like to give her Big Rock Candy Mountain, which gives her a +1 to her AC and a plus D6 for all her attack rolls for the next minute.
Mercy, I'll go ahead and say roll a perception check at disadvantage.
Do you notice I'm force feeding you alcohol? And do you care?
No, both for 14.
14, you say?
Mhm.
I'll say the DC was 10. So, as you sort of feel...
It's almost like the numbers can be arbitrary.
Almost! So, you feel the funnel being forced into your mouth, and it's like, wait, you spit it. The familiar Big Rock Candy Mountain. And I will say that you were at a higher initiative order. So, yeah, go ahead and tell me what you want to do, Mercy. As you know, Bahazet is being harassed by these two no longer shadowy, but still horrifying individuals.
I think she stands bolt upright, slaps Jovi on the back.
I take the bottle before she smashes it on the floor in some sort of fervor.
And then kind of, there's just a moment where she's like, I am all here and I haven't got massive cleave marks in me, so that's good.
Quick note, you are at half health, so even though the claw marks aren't there,
it's like a really bad headache.
Man, it's really bad. Like, you're used to hangovers, but oh boy.
You woke up with a headache in the dream, and then you wake up from the dream with a headache.
So this is like the dark side of the Drunken Master subclass, the Hangover Master. As she just like launches into attack, and it's just gonna whirl the hammer and just try and like... Yeah, she's going to go for the one that's attacking Bahazet that he isn't attacking yet. It's the one that just did all the damage.
There are two that are attacking him still. The Skeksis and the Baboon.
Oh, I think it was the Baboon that killed her, so she's going to go for that one.
Okay, go ahead.
1. No, I don't think
In the real world, that hits.
I love the real world. Okay, I'll do the attack rolls first. Oh, this one should hit because that's a 21.
You know, actually, I think that.
And then the damage from those two is 6 and a 9, so 15 damage from those two.
15 damage for those two against that one. Okay.
Yeah. And what not? I think she's gonna expend a key point.
Okay,
you're adding the D6 to your attack rolls?
Oh shit, no I wasn't. Well, they were both hit anyway. Those both hit anyway. Okay. There's no bonus to damage rolls, is there?
No, it is a plus D6 to all of your attack rolls.
Got it. I will now remember that.
Very good.
That's a nat 20.
Well,
wow.
Yeah, that hits.
With a 4 on the D6. Okay, so I rolled a 1 though, so that's 7 damage for the first hit.
Okay.
And then that's a whole big number with the D6 added as well. It's like 2,500.
Yeah, so
5 billion.
Or not too dissimilarly from the dream, you sort of wheel up in a golf swing and hit the side of this baboon creature's head, dealing an absolutely heinous amount of damage to its sort of form. It shambles a little bit and tries to keep upright, but unfortunately, given the psychic damage that it received in the dream and now being corporeal outside of it...
Oh, they've already taken some damage from us. Nice.
Yes. So this were-baboon kind of collapses in a heap, like sprawled out next to its... what is now left of its friend that Bahazet is still working on.
It's worth saying, she was fully making that lethal damage.
Oh, yeah, no.
Hell yeah.
Believe it or not, yeah, this guy's dead.
Alright, and that is, I was planning to whip out a stunning strike, but I guess I don't need to now.
Bahazet.
Yeah, but I don't think I can use stunning strike on that one. because I didn't hit it with a melee weapon attack. So
very true, very true.
that's my turn. I'll try and make it so that this last one is now flanked with me and Bahazet.
Very good, very good. So, Jovi, you actually know there is a proper werewolf who stirs from sleep, immediately disturbed by everything. Sort of like Jovi, they went down in the dream and kind of rocket back forward into consciousness, but there's not much that the werewolf can do other than assess the situation and immediately collapse in on itself, like try to roll out back into the corridor and bolt, just running full force away from the fight. The werevulture still takes a couple of swings at Bahazet. One does hit with only a piddling points of slashing damage, which Bahazet takes in stride almost. And as that occurs, top of the round, Bahazet is now in the initiative order behind everybody, literally. So, Mercy, you're at the top. What would you like to do?
Well, hammer time, I guess.
Go ahead.
Hammer. Oh, do I still have the d6, or is it just for last turn?
It lasts a minute, so you still got the d6.
Wow, that's amazing. All right, so the first one is a 19 to hit. Second one is a 27 to hit.
27 to hit. Yeah, those hit.
Nice. Okay, first one is 6 damage. Oh, another 6 damage. Wow, I'm rolling really crappy on the damage dice. So a total of 12. Then another key point. Flurry of blows.
All right.
This one's going to hit because... Actually, maybe that's a 14.
Yep, that hits.
Okay. Okay, that's 10 damage, and the second one... Ow, I just smashed my finger.
Oh no!
Ow.
Alright, and then a 22 to hit,
Yeah, which hits.
and that's another 9 damage. So a total of 19 damage from the flurry of blows.
So that was a 19 plus, what was it before?
12, so 31.
Ow.
Fuck. Because the word you were searching for, Jason.
Yeah. So, immediately, you find the one part of this sort of Skeksis creature that just feels really good to hit, and you hit it 4 more times, and immediately it just dies. It collapses. It just sort of sprawls out amidst a bloody mess. You sort of look around and note that there are a couple of other sort of trap sites. It's really, really hard to sort of parse, but as Bahazet sort of stops his relentless assault, he breathes very heavily, feeling the weight of his rage still kind of coursing through his veins, and immediately turns to you, to the two of you, and demands in his native tongue, anybody here speak Draconic?
I feel like Mercy, don't you?
Nope, I speak Primordial.
But within word at us, Jovi grabs a drink.
Go ahead.
And we'll take a swig of Velvet Duchess, which calms emotions and gives me comprehend languages. So,
where is nowhere? He asks in sort of a haggard tone as he seems to sort of just be breaking out of the effects of his own psychic imprisonment.
I think you answered your own question, because I've got no idea. Also, you're welcome!
is that werewolf? Was that werewolf still, like, that werewolf's gone? Not with the... Okay. Phew.
Just
okay.
phew. Yeah.
Okay. Then scratch my plan. We woke up like this. We don't know. What is happening?
Open your ears. I'm sure you can hear. immediately as he says that, it almost sounds as though a riot has broken out across the sort of top level of the final rites. There are screams of help you can comprehend in multiple different languages. There are sort of raucous, sort of exaltations praising Malar. Just a whole bunch of bad energy has been unleashed amidst this entire sector of the ship.
Jovi! And Kata!
I gotta find Hamish.
And we will
Are we
have to
splitting the party?
and we will have to find the time next week. So I've been meaning to make it a bit of a slower
upsetting.
simmer.
That was upsetting, but it was great.
I've been meaning to make it a little bit more of a slow simmer, but Malar has hunted for long enough, and tonight he shall feast. Thank you, everybody.
If any of these bad guys can actually kill us.
I'm not feeling great here. Rachel.
We're doing fine. We got Bahazet. We can do anything.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
He
because
gets him if we split the party.
Yeah, exactly.
He's my boss.
Fair. That's fair.
As we are a bit of a skeleton crew, this will be a welcome return for our castmates as they figure out their schedules and get back on board as soon as possible. As an aside, thank you everybody so much for watching and joining us today. This has been a pretty fun time of it.
Yeah, it's pretty fun.
Yeah, so my name
Dream
is Jason.
Hellscates skates are always great.
Oh, it's fantastic. I was slightly inspired. But as it stands, my name is Jason. I've been your DM. Been so happy to be here. So happy to have the final rites kick off. If you want to find out where I am at any point in time, I got a pinned tweet at Just Jason Please on Twitter if you want to follow. I stop with the plugs there as we pass it along to the voice behind the beautiful, beautiful image that she herself created. Rachel, who are you? Where can we find you? All that good stuff. Plug whatever you want to plug.
I am very good, very good. You can find me in various places. The best one, in which I am most often present, is Twitter, where you can find me using the handle @Talanir, which incidentally is the same handle that I use for both my Instagram and my Twitch, where I do art streams twice a week on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Other than that, you can find me tomorrow, actually. I'm going to be streaming with the Scraticus Academy channel, the penultimate episode of Heroes of Redwall, so come and see some cute little woodland animals kill each other. It's going to be great.
Woo!
And I think that's everything from me.
Fantastic. And so we progress to the next. Angela, hey, stop. How you doing?
Hi.
How you feeling?
I'm doing great. That was so fun. I loved the slow peeling of layers of reality in that. That was really well done, Jason. So I am Angela. I played Jovi. You can find me at darling_gypsum on Twitter, and you can find me tonight at 7 p.m. Pacific here on the Nerdsmith Twitch. We are doing last part of a murder mystery. We'll see if we can solve the murder of our boss in tonight's episode. I'm sure things will get complicated.
Yeah, seems pretty important. I mean, you
Just
you want
a
to
little.
find out.
He was kind of a dick, but we feel bad.
Well,
We still feel bad.
outside of that, we must thank so many people, chief among which are our sponsors. And well, actually, no. We must thank our first and foremost our Patreon supporters, our Twitch subscribers, and make this world of ours go round. Nerdsmith.org/support if you want to find out more on how you'd like to support this wonderful network of creators. But also first and foremost, but in sort of a separate. But anyway, marvelous, marvelous sponsors, worldanvil.com for the premier award-winning, like, best world-building service you could ever ask for or have. Try it for free, worldanvil.com. If you want to support it, and you're going to want to support it, less than a cup of coffee a month, you can actually get an access to a palette of features that is just wonderful. Light up the forge with worldanvil.com if you're a creative of any persuasion. And if you just like shiny math rocks, dieharddice.com has got the shiniest, the prettiest, the most diehard?
The mathiest.
The mathiest.
The clickiest, clackiest, click-clack math rocks.
What Angela said. Of beautiful aesthetic and design. You got I don't know if they use resin or what have you. They're plastic, they're metal, they're all fantastic.
They got numbers on them.
I was about to say delicious. Please do not eat.
No,
dice.
they have not released a line of chocolate dice, so please don't try to eat them.
Please don't. Just as a
Halloween may be close, but Die Hard has not confirmed edible dice yet.
Not yet. Please don't try. Nevertheless, we thank you everybody so much for watching. We thank Rachel for the art. We thank Angela for the video. We thank Logan on production. And we say goodbye for now. Adios. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.